I in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a little caught, see my arm too.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Ryan.
And this is All We Can Say.
All we can say. Back at you, by the way, because we did have a little week off, so if we're a little rusty, give us some time.
Yeah.
It was Thanksgiving week, so obviously we needed to take some time away. I didn't want to just like keep going, and also it's good to have a little break once in a while.
Gives us more to say.
Yeah, it gives us time to, you know, think about everything and like really just, you know, come up with more ideas and stuff like that. Our time off was pretty good. How was yours?
It was pretty good.
Yeah, I love the holidays. You know, one thing about me is I love a little time
I don't know
off.
if I love Thanksgiving. I think it would be my least favorite holiday.
Really? What about it?
It's just boring.
Oh, you know what? I do love like a boring holiday though. Like Halloween, while I love it and I think it's a lot of fun, like going out, getting like all dressed up, like creating characters and all this stuff is amazing. I do like who doesn't like to just sit around and eat food?
I don't know. I prefer that at Christmas.
Oh, you know what it is though? Is because like my Thanksgiving is like my close family. It's really chill vibes. You go to like the extended family.
Yeah.
That's the problem. And that's what I was saying. Like I'm just like my entire life. I'm sorry. I don't care how many like if my siblings have kids and stuff. Like I'm never doing the holidays with the whole family. And I think that's why you didn't like it because for me, I literally went home. I had a break from school, which first of all. Well needed because I'm already at the end of my line of school. Like I am just at the point where I'm like, all right, a couple more weeks. If I have to keep going, like I will die.
Yeah.
And I'm not being.
I think I'm already dead. Shit.
It already happened.
You seen that thing? Streets killed me.
True.
I died on the streets.
That's me. That's literally me. From too much, like overworked. But honestly, it was a great like little break.
It was.
And then I just
watched the Hunger Games.
We did, which we'll talk about.
Yeah.
Because I have so many thoughts on that, but as I was saying, I just went home. I spent time with like my parents and my siblings, like my, you know, close siblings. Like I didn't have to do much work. I just sat around all day, ate food, helped cook a little bit, ate food, and just like chilled for the rest of the day. So I honestly, and the next day is like Black Friday, so it's kind of fun. But I honestly just enjoy it.
You have a sparkle on your cheek.
Do I really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave it there actually.
Okay, sure.
A little sparkle.
There you go.
Keep me sparkling. But yeah, it's the glow from like having some time off from school actually. That's what it is. So once I get a little bit of a break, I become human again. Oh. So that's kind of what's happening.
I'm still waiting for that process to actually occur.
As our classes really started again.
So anyways, the Hunger Games. What do you think?
We saw the Hunger Games together.
Yeah, we did.
Now listen, we weren't like the first weekend like goers. It came out what, like a week before Thanksgiving?
It came out the Friday. It came out the Friday before Black Friday. So 7 days before, we went to see it Tuesday.
True. And we were really waiting for this movie because when I tell you Hunger Games, I don't know about you, is deep rooted for me.
Childhood vibes.
It's childhood. So I was really like waiting for this movie to come around. I had really high expectations. And I have a lot to say about it. I also went back, by the way, after I seen like this prequel. Was that what it was?
Yeah.
The most recent one. After I saw this one, the Songbird one, I went back and I watched the other Hunger Games. And do I have a lot of thoughts about it? What was your first initial when we finished it?
When we initially finished it, I didn't like love it. I didn't hate it, but I didn't really love it. I was a little disappointed with it. But I feel like my feelings have changed a lot.
Yeah, why have they changed?
I feel like, well, this is obviously spoilers for the movie if you haven't seen it.
True, also, yeah, if you haven't seen the movie, like, click off now. Yeah. This is a spoiler. We're gonna just be talking about the entire movie, so if you haven't had a chance to see it, just skip, like, 15 minutes.
Maybe section it in the video, if you can.
It's really putting me to work.
Yeah.
Okay,
but
that.
I, felt like I didn't like it because it wasn't like the Hunger Games weren't really the focal point of the movie. But I don't think that was meant to be the focal point of the movie. I think it was meant to be on snow.
Yeah.
And I think it would have been interesting to see the Hunger Games in that way. But I think that I don't know, I feel like we've seen enough of that. Like I don't know, and I feel like I was kind of disappointed with the fact that she wasn't really like a badass bitch. You know what I mean?
Right.
In the movie. Well, that's debatable. I think she was, but I feel like she wasn't a fighter, and I feel like we've seen enough of that with we had 4 movies of that main character. So why would we want that same kind of main character again? It shows you the kinds of people that the games can bring in. Like Katniss is one type of person, Lucy Gray is another.
Okay.
Katniss is a hunter, she has done that. Lucy Gray is a performer. that Rachel Ziegler, the person who played Lucy Gray, said that Lucy Gray is a performer forced to fight, and Katniss is a fighter forced to perform. And once I started looking at it that way, I kind of
That's so good.
I know. I've seen it in like a new light. You know what I mean?
Oh my
god. Like, doesn't that kind of rewire?
True, that does rewire.
You're like, okay, I can understand it.
It still doesn't change my opinion of the movie.
And I kind of I liked the way it was. I think the Hunger Games portion of it could have been more impactful. Because I think in the book version of it was more impactful. But I think that I liked that she was a singer, that she was a performer. Because I think it made it more of an emotional movie, which I think that we could the Hunger Games. Obviously, you expect it to be action, which was where my initial disappointment came from. But I feel like the change of genre or pace, at least, was appreciated because we've had 4 movies previously where that was the pace. So it was like kind of a different genre to explore it through.
Right. I understand this. Let me say my first opinion of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I did not like it. I was not a fan. We talked about this.
Yeah.
We had a little debrief after the movie was over, and I wasn't a major fan for multiple reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing it from your perspective, I understand how it's cool to have a different pace and stuff. But that being said, it still doesn't change how I, loved or hated the movie. I understand that, and I'm sure this is great. Okay, my opinions on the movie is this.
Mm-hmm.
Hunger Games is deep-rooted for me.
Yeah.
They were spaced out over the course of a few years.
Mm-hmm.
And so this took up, and instantly, I watched the first movie when it came out. I was one of the kids, every Tuesday, my mom took us to go watch movies.
Really?
So we watched it right when it came out. And it was oh, when will the next one come out? And then when will the next one come out? And they were good, and good, and good, and good. And they were really good. I loved the series. So this took up, a big chunk of my childhood. And so I had really high expectations going into movie, which is also just not... You shouldn't have high expectations for a movie, right? I'm not kidding. Hunger Games was so impactful to me that one year I asked for a bow and arrow for Christmas.
Really?
I did.
That is so cool.
I used it about twice, but I literally asked for a bow and arrow.
Wait, you got it?
Yes, I got it for Christmas. 1 year I just fully, that's all I wanted was a bow and arrow, and I got it for Christmas.
Okay.
I used it about twice. So that didn't really go too far. My Katniss era kind of ended after that Christmas. Yeah. But it's just... that series of a movie, and I get that it's a change of pace, this movie, but I will say, for me, I didn't need a change of pace because the movies came out 10 years ago. I needed what my inner child needed was a badass fighter woman entering the games, doing the same thing that Katniss did. Now, I understand it's probably not amazing to have the same character, but for the inner me, the child, when I walked into that movie, that's what I expected. I expected a badass bitch character, and I did not get that, so that's kind of what the disconnect was for me. Also, I felt like there was a lot going on in that movie. Whereas, in the Hunger Games, and this is a big point, is the Hunger Games itself. I understand that wasn't, the focal point of the movie, right? But... for me, a major point of why I liked the Hunger Games movie and why I fell in love with it and why I even went to go see this one is because we get introduced to the Hunger Games and we see all of the individual people who are forced in. We kind of get to know their stories a little bit. We get to see their skill set. There's that scene where everybody walks in and they have to show off their skill set to the game makers, and everyone gets their skills, and you kind of you start to get the who hates who and who's jealous of who and all of that, and then you're put into this game where it's this big dramatic, and you're okay, well, this person's gonna run after the bow. Katniss is really good with the bow. Is she gonna get the bow? This person's good with whatever. And then as the Hunger Games goes on, for example, in the third movie, it was Catching Fire. In Catching Fire, they explain how one of the characters is really good at disguising their body with face paints, and then at one point in the movie, this character reveals themselves, and it's cool to see that, and you know what I mean. And the whole Hunger Games kind of comes around in this big circle because you understand their skills. You see, it's kind of cool to see how people die. Yeah, Catching Fire.
The Morphlings, was that who that was? The ones that were addicted to drugs.
I don't remember. I think that they were maybe. It was the ones that painted themselves. It was you know what I mean? And so anyways, it was just really good of an action movie, and And the whole Hunger Games in general, like, you could see the story, you got to learn the personalities of the people, you got to see them die. The scene of Rue dying, I remember crying in that movie theater, like tears running down my cheeks. So much emotion was invoked from watching these movies that I didn't get from this movie as much.
I have a funny video to send you.
Really?
About that.
About what, Rue?
Yeah.
Why? What was it?
You'll see. But I think that I completely agree with you. I actually like did some like research on it. And it seems like the games were talked about a lot more in the book, and a lot was like sacrificed. Like certain deaths that happened in the movie were like that was the death of another tribute in the book, or like maybe it was extended and you got to learn more about them and their skills and everything.
In the book.
Yes.
Of the prequel.
Yes.
Oh, see, that's what I was.
So missing. I think it was the fact. I don't know if it was the fact that substance was lacking, or maybe the movie like chose not to focus on that with all, because it was a movie with a lot happening, and I'm sure it was a book with a lot happening, so maybe they sacrificed that. But I don't understand why they did sacrifice it. This is another critique. I did like the movie, but this is the critique of it. Like, I feel like every movie now is 3 hours. That movie wasn't 3 hours, I'm pretty sure. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't think it was.
But like, they could have elongated it to make the tributes and like the stakes seem more like real, you know what I mean? Because I feel like in you kind of knew Katniss was gonna win because it was a kids movie, but like there were things you didn't know. Would Peeta win with her? Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Thing, because
how would they win?
But like the only tribute you got to know for that Hunger Games was Lucy Gray, and there was no winner in like that was ever going to occur other than Lucy Gray.
Right, and it's in the name.
Yeah.
Like, but even in this one, you knew Lucy Gray was gonna win, and even in the Hunger Games, you know Katniss is gonna win.
But like you would know the other tributes, and you'd like kind of feel them more. Which, again, in the book, it described them more, and I kind of like looked into that to like learn more about them. Like apparently, in the book, do you know Wovi, the one that like was like died when the snake exploded?
Oh yeah.
Apparently, she was the one who drank the poisoned water.
Oh,
she like came out like all emaciated and stuff like that because she was hiding, and Lucy Gray accidentally killed her. That could have introduced another conflict into the games. Like, Lucy's not a killer again. Like, she's a performer. She's not a fighter. She didn't mean to kill this one, and that was probably the most defenseless person that she could have killed.
Yeah.
And she did it inadvertently, so that could have affected her. And like, we didn't get to see the emotional ramifications of that. I mean, we did because the sickly girl from District 11 died to it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It could have been more impactful if the non-sickly one died and the sickly one died. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's definitely critiques of it. I liked it overall, but yeah, it could have been way better.
I think it could have been way better. It was just like I was missing that main character, the badass main character girl. That was my biggest critique. Also, it's the Hunger Games. It's not Snow's life. You know, so it's like, why do we spend 20 minutes on the Hunger Games? And that's like you said, we didn't get to know a single person. So when this person died, it's just kind of like, okay, they died. Like, we don't really have that emotional connection that you had in the first set of movies.
Maybe if we read the book, it would feel more impactful to us, but
that's not the movie should cover that.
The movie should cover that.
The movie should cover every little thing.
Yeah.
And I think Rachel Zegler did a great job.
I think she did too. I loved her songs. I've been listening to them on Spotify.
Oh, really? Like the actual songs from the
Yeah.
movie? I'm not that far. I've been listening to Olivia Rodrigo.
I've been listening to that too.
Because that's so good.
Yeah.
But that being said, what needs to be talked about is Snow.
Yeah. He's like, I don't know how to feel about him.
Oh, you're not...
I don't know how to feel.
As a character, as him.
He looks great in the movie.
I was about to say him jumping into the lake.
Oh,
my panties were dropping on that floor.
That was carrying.
Come on, like I saw this TikTok. It was like, do you want 9 inches of snow this Christmas or 9 inches of snow this Christmas? Oh my God, give me that man. Give me him. I didn't think he'd be your type. He's a little twinkish.
I could like everyone and anyone.
Sure.
You know, lately I've actually I've entered this like new epoch of my life where I think I'm ready for a cowboy to come and get me and take me away.
Mm-hmm.
Do terrible things to me.
Oh, like.
So that's just kind of how I'm feeling.
Oh, okay.
That's just kind of like the kind of realization I've come to.
So what sparked this?
Men, just in general, like seeing men, kind of just did that to me.
You know what? I need to get fixed. For real, because I do see men and it makes me hate them more. So I don't know why yours is working and mine isn't.
I'm loving it. I don't know, like just something about like a southern country man.
You know what? Because you know what the problem is I love a good like cowboy, a little like a rough around the edges, gruffy man. But then it just screams like, dare I say Republican? I mean, we can't get political, but it screams like conservative, like
gonna hate crime you.
Gonna hate crime me. Right. Don't judge the politics, but like just very like
I don't know, just something about that cowboy hat and like a beefy cowboy, like wow, like okay.
That's doing it for you.
Like he works with his hands. Like,
I do want to work with class hands sometimes.
Like you work with your hands.
Oh my god, bye. Get out. Like that's crazy.
Cool. Like I don't do that, but I'm glad that you do.
Right, you can do it. Build me that house. How about that? Build me that house. Oh, I guess I get it.
I've been getting into Bjork lately.
Who's Bjork? I've heard of Bjork. I know they're an artist of sorts.
She's an Icelandic artist.
Okay. What is she about?
I don't know if you'd love it, but I'm like loving her. Right. She kind of like reminds me of Ethel Cain in a way, or I guess Ethel Cain reminds me of her.
Unsubscribe.
Like, she's very like
not even
she's very, her music's like very like esoteric, like wind chimey, like very ethereal vibes.
So I could be into that. Very in the breeze.
Yeah, a little crazed,
trees,
a little
like,
crazed.
Yeah.
But I'm loving it.
Really? Maybe I'll get into Bjork.
Very big Bjork.
I love the Bjork name, but it reminds me of that one guy. Do you know what I'm talking about? Bjorn? Bjorn.
The J is silent in Scandinavian.
Oh, gotcha.
Or it sounds like yeah.
Oh, okay. Good to know. But it reminds me of him, and I don't know who he is, but I always think it's the same person when somebody says that.
Yeah, I've just been getting into her lately. Also, do you know another conclusion I'm full of a lot of conclusions.
You've come to a new conclusion this week?
Why is like are the people paying like for stand up and in the crowds like when they make the jokes, are they like actors laughing?
No, I think
it's just never funny.
I think it's a laugh track.
Or are they drunk? I don't understand. Like,
right.
Someone help me get it.
You would have to, first of all, you'd have to pay me to go to comedy show.
Because, like, stand-up is just never funny. It never has been funny. It never will be.
I think that's just, there's some that could be funny, but for me personally, like, the setting alone of just, like, you're gonna enter a room and this person's gonna be funny already kind of makes it unfunny.
I know, right?
Like, that's what their job is to make me laugh. It already makes me, like...
And you notice the patterns with it as well.
Yeah.
Like, there's this one... I don't know her name, but like she'll always like be open like you're so cute, and like you'll watch it, right, and you'll be like, okay, this is like obviously it's a skill, like crowd work, I understand.
Yeah.
But like she's always opening the same way. She always opens the oh look at you blah 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 you're so cute, and it's like to get a laugh because like it's funny to call like a random like grown ass person cute. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like a man or something like that. But I don't know, like, it's always open the same way, like, it's kind of like, okay, like, this is the one thing you're doing, like...
Right, like, repetitive.
Yeah.
But, like, a lot of the times, I think with stand-up comedians, they have, like, a script.
Yeah.
Which, like I said, things that are scripted just generally aren't funny. You know what I mean? It's hard to make them funny because it's, like...
Sometimes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes it is. But for me, I kind of just like the witty, in the moment. That's what makes me laugh more because I'm not really expecting it. It's like,
I don't know, a comedy movie is scripted and like whatever, and I'm more likely to find that funny than stand up for some reason. Like maybe it's, I think it's what you said of like entering like a room and like this person's gonna tell jokes and you're gonna laugh, and something about that's like, all right, make me laugh.
Right, where
make
it's
me laugh, bitch.
Make me laugh. Why am I not laughing? Why am I not laughing?
Right.
But like sometimes I watch like little videos on TikTok of like stand-up comedians, per se, and I do laugh, but it's like. And then you'll like watch more and it's like, okay, this one's not really funny, okay, scroll. This one's not really funny.
Like it was their one hit.
Yeah, it's like the one hit that like blew up on TikTok. That gets us talking about the stand-up comedian in heat right now. Matt Rife, which, let me say, I had the Matt Rife bug a few months ago.
He's
I get it, he's attractive, right?
He is attractive.
He has had work done.
Yeah.
And he likes to lie about that.
Okay.
That's like the thing that he likes to be like...
I could assume he had work.
There was this one clip where he was on this like little podcast or whatever it was, and he was like, people have said I've gotten jaw surgery, lip filler, like cheek filler, like whatever, you know, you have.
Just own it.
Also, there's this viral TikTok that's going around right now, and it's this doctor, and it's like, after making the best jawline on my client and he gets canceled or something like that, but he doesn't say it's Matt Rife, but in the description one of the things is tagged as #comedian. Obviously he's not legally allowed to be like it's Matt Rife, but it's very like it's Matt Rife. Like, all the comments are like, it's Matt Rife. Like, first of all, if you go back and like watch videos of him doing stand-up, his very early like wilding out,
yeah, sure.
wilding out, that's what it's called. Like, his teeth are very much botched. Like, just like, you can tell that
in his early
stuff, his teeth are done. You can tell that maybe his jaw was done. I mean, I don't really think he's the most beautiful human, by the way. I think like he is very attractive, but like besides the things he's gotten work done on, like his features aren't crazy. Like his eyebrows aren't crazy. Like his eyes are just blue. Like they're just, his nose is just, and even like people have been saying that he's gotten a nose, like the tip looks like it's been pushed up.
Oh, really?
Like that. So like definitely has had a lot of work done, and he denies. And
he's in heat for...
He's in heat because he had a stand-up show on Netflix, which by the way, it was #2. Like all this controversy and it's still #2. And like the #1 was like some random ass movie. Oh, it probably went down because everyone's over it now. But it was #2 at the time. And he starts off his comedy joke with like this weird sketch of him being like pushed up against a car, and everyone's like, you're not funny, you're just attractive. Like the police officers are like, you're not funny, you're just attractive. And then it like cuts to him, I don't know, I didn't watch it myself. Like I probably should watch these things before I start talking about it, but I only saw this on TikTok. And he goes in and his first joke is a domestic violence joke.
Okay.
His first joke in the stand-up thing. And then like the first 10 minutes of this stand-up like movie, whatever you want to call it, show, comedian show, whatever, is like talking about how like women talk about like astrology and how like none of it makes sense, and it's just like shitting on women. And like it's very obvious that like most of the people that watch him are women. Period. Like they're just women. Like you're just attractive, like you're not that funny. Like you have your little funny moments, but for the most part, and I have seen like he does some good crowd work, but that's not like a comedian. But like he does some good crowd work, and like he's just not funny. And it's like a lot of women think he's attractive, right? He is attractive. I don't think he's like a 10 out of 10, but like he's definitely very attractive now that he's gotten work done. And he hates the fact that he has a woman audience. Like he's said this multiple times, yes, that like a lot of women will come to his show because they think he's attractive. And I get some of it. It's like some women will yell out in the middle of his joke and be like, you're hot, you're attractive, like I want to fuck you.
He wants to be respected for his own
He wants to be
work.
respected as a comedian, and he wants male validation. Classic fucking straight man. Oh, I can't even start talking about this because you know it'll get me going. Like I can't have a whole other episode taken up by this. But he like craves male validation, and like he was saying how like he wants his shows to be for men and not for women. And like he talks about how he doesn't want women viewers, and so he opens his comedy show dissing women, like talking about domestic violence. Yeah, he's trying to alienate his woman audience, which is wrong for so many reasons.
It's wrong for so many reasons. Those are the people who built him up for better or for worse. Like regardless of why they're watching, if they think he's hot, isn't that like a good thing to be thought of as hot? I don't know.
Yeah, right? His whole fucking career is built off of women, which, let's just talk about like women, just like the impact of women, especially this year with the Barbie movie. I saw this on the Just Trish podcast because they were talking about it. It's like the Barbie movie was such a hit. Who's watching the Barbie movie? Women. Like Taylor Swift is the biggest artist right now. Who's listening to Taylor Swift?
Women.
The girls and the gays. Like, are you for real? Like you're gonna alienate the one people who brought you up? And like he said in some sort of podcast or something, I don't know. I don't really watch him. Like this is like the only thing that made me care about him. I just thought he was attractive for like a good period of time. And like he had this thing where he was talking about how like wait, what was I gonna say? I just lost my train of thought. Wait, so he was on this podcast.
Yeah.
And what was I saying? I just started thinking about the fact that like he's kind of hot. And how I had a phase where I was like, I was gonna say he's funny and hot, but then I was like, wait a minute, that's not true. Oh, okay, so he's not funny. But anyways, he was talking about how he went from, for 12 years, he was doing stand-up like comedy, and like nothing bit the mark. Like nothing took him there. So like he went from making like $50K a year to in 1 year on TikTok because he started releasing like TikToks of his videos and they started going viral because he's hot. And like everyone knows the belt joke where he like takes off the belt with one hand. Like that's a very like well-known thing by him. It went viral. And that's like one of the things that boosted his career. He went from making like $50,000 a year to 20 million.
Wow.
So you're gonna alienate the one group of people that are gonna like, that have brought you to be a millionaire.
Yeah,
like
that's crazy.
That's crazy. Obviously he did a lot of hard work and dedication in show after show after show, but like if most of your audience is women, like why would you try to put that down? Anybody, any celebrity that's like, oh, I don't like these fans. I don't like these fans. Why are you like just hindering your own success?
Yeah.
Like no matter what, let your fans be your fans. If you attract women, you should just be proud of that. You should be like any other artist and like be like, oh my god, like I love my fans. I love, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, it's crazy how you're gonna alienate the one success that you have.
Yeah. Speaking of fans, I need to actually, who's a fan of Grey's Anatomy? Who's the fucking fan of that?
Truly.
That shit has 30 seasons. I've yet to meet someone in my life who watches it.
Right.
Who?
If you're out there and you watch Grey's Anatomy, let us know what the appeal is. I don't even know. Is that the one where they're in the hospital?
It's like the doctors.
Oh yeah. No,
like, I don't really know.
Any show, I'm not really a big fan of any show that has to do with like hospitals. Like,
yeah, I'm like...
the ER one, like...
That's, I think, Grey's Anatomy, isn't it?
No. There's a show, it's like, Insane Stories for the Young. There is a lot of them. But that's like true crime, like there's a lot of true crime.
I like true crime.
Oh, so we're fine with that, but not the doctors.
But like that's like the random not a reality show. What is it? It's like this random like I don't know. You're gonna watch a show about doctors.
Yeah, and
there has to be better things.
There has to be better things.
Even true crime's more interesting than that because you're like learning about like something crazy. Like
it's more interesting. And I like the ER one, like I said, because it's like Insane Stories, like,
and that's an episode.
Right. I'm sure there's drama to it.
I'm sure.
We've never seen an episode, so we wouldn't know.
True.
That's also like, there's some shows that like I blindly am like, why do you watch this? Like Shameless.
I've never seen it.
Never seen it.
I don't actually know what Shameless is about.
Why is it such a big show?
What is Shameless about?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I tried watching it one time and I didn't
I guess it's about not having shame. It's being shameless.
True. Well, wow, we
great message. Great message.
Thank you guys.
Great message.
What are some other shows that are just like not?
I don't know. I don't really watch a lot of shows.
You're not a big TV show person.
No, like
I feel like I'm not really that much either. All I do is like watch Trish Paytas and like occasionally a movie.
Yeah, like no shows.
Especially like Netflix has the worst shit.
It does.
Like when are we gonna get good? Like $billion company, y'all couldn't put up.
Well, it's that they're having that strike.
No, it's over.
Oh, SAG-AFTRA strike is over.
What is it called?
It's called SAG-AFTRA.
Oh, I just thought I thought it was like the actor strike or something.
That's what I don't know.
Yeah, it has to do with all that, but that's over now.
Oh.
So they're back in business. Like we're gonna get more shows out.
Did they get paid more?
I don't know. We hope they did.
We hope they did.
Like I hope y'all got your bag.
Yeah.
They should. Because why are they paid pennies for this shit? Like,
yeah, that's crazy.
Their hard work. Like damn, y'all are really just doing it for fun out there.
That is ridiculous.
Like actors, like for example, like Euphoria, like the actors that aren't the main character, but they're still like popular character, like they're not paid much. Like you could be having so much airtime, but because you're not like the SpongeBob of the show, like you're kind of just paid like whatever.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like most actors get paid off of like endorsements and like stuff like that. Like that's wild. I hope they got more money because like damn, y'all should be getting paid. Because these are like $1 billion movies. Like the fact that like the Barbie movie only almost made $1 billion, it might have made more. Like, and the fact that they're not paying the actors, like, so who's getting paid? It's the fucking producers. Like, the people who put the money in initially, like, they're getting cash. Like, they're getting paid out. It's crazy how they do that shit. That shit should be criminal. But I hope they got their money. Let's hope that they got their.
You know this thing? Like, I went to one of those restaurants recently where this is like speaking of paid, where you like you literally talking to them at the counter and like they have one of those things to ask you for a tip.
At the counter? Like, oh, you mean like
a crumble.
Oh yeah, like a crumble.
What is that?
Are you tipping?
No.
I don't think I am either.
But
I tip sometimes.
I think it's like I think we've become like I'm grateful for tips because it makes people have money like in those industries where they like deserve money. like being a waiter, for example, you deserve a tip. Like, but I think that like this over-reliant, like companies are doing this thing where they're like, okay, tip for this, tip for that, tip for this, so they can excuse it, so they can say, oh, well, we have tips available, so we don't need to pay you as much.
Right.
But I think it's like a way to like line their pockets. Like who's what are we tipping for at like Crumble at the desk when we're asking for like food? Like what was automatic here? Or what was the service provided other than you just handing me something? I came in here, I got that, and I left. Like
right. But I think like at Crumble Cookie, like they pay their employees like minimum wage and then they get the tips.
That's what I don't.
So they're not like under.
But they should just be paid above minimum wage.
True. Right.
Like
the company should be
because that's the excuse. They're paying them minimum wage. Like for a job that probably should be paid a little over minimum wage.
Yeah.
And be like, well, we put tips there so we can kind of lower the wage because like we'll leave it on like the public. When people should just pay their fucking workers. Pay their workers and have the tips.
Right. I don't think every job needs a tip. Like, for example, the Crumble Cookie person who sits behind the counter.
Yeah.
I don't honestly, but then we don't really know what goes into that job. Like maybe they're sitting behind there and they're like putting the flour and the sugar together and we should tip them.
Maybe.
But like, I don't know. I'm not really sure. But by the way, I am a server at a restaurant. Like so I know all about the tips. But yeah, I think just in general we should be paid more.
Servers should be tipped.
Oh, 100%. If I wasn't tipped, I wouldn't do the job.
Servers should be tipped. Like performers should be tipped. Like I understand those things.
If you're providing a service, like no matter what it is, if you're providing a service,
but like what's
making my life easier as a customer, like you're not just handing me something. If you're like sitting there baking something, if you're sitting there like giving me a facial and like because I'm gonna tip you, I have to tip you. Like I feel like I have to. Because it's like you're providing me a service, you're not just like handing me.
Because I'm confused, like what's the service being provided for the tip?
Right.
In that scenario, are you handing me my bag as I leave?
Right. Do you tip at Starbucks?
I don't go to Starbucks.
True. Oh, we're not supposed to go to Starbucks right now, I should have said that.
Yeah.
Because they're supporting Israel. Which, by the way, guys, do your research, donate if you can, obviously, if you can. Because that's more important than anything we're talking about in this podcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's actually insane.
It's really, like, terrible.
I've seen, like, TikToks on it, too, of, like, sad. Just people being in their houses and hearing bombing going off and stuff, and I'm like, I could never imagine that. So...
It's like, I've seen, like, things of, like, people, like mothers and children crying out because like their parents or their children have died in like a bombing.
Yeah.
Or like an attack. Like,
I believe it.
It's so sad.
Yeah, and I don't know like too much on it, but I know
a
that
lot. Free Palestine.
Isn't like okay, let me just talk a little bit about this and educate me because it'll be educating them too. Like when
well, let me not say I know a lot.
Right.
I know like I try my best.
Try your best, yeah. And I did too, but it kind of confuses me. So Hamas is underground.
So, okay, let me
give me a little basic
Let me start with this. In 1948, there was, after World War II, there was the establishment of a Jewish-run state called Israel.
Got it.
Similarly to the ancient kingdom of Israel written about in the Torah, in the Bible and shit like that. Obviously, there were people living there. They're Palestinians.
Right.
In that land. And since then, their lands have considerably been constricted.
Right, over time.
Shrinked down, like, over time. This is just from my understanding of it, and there was like kind of a war, and I think an armistice or like a peace like was brokered between them in 1967. But like still over time, like Israel, like the IDF, which is the Israel Defense Force, has been like kind of like harassing Palestinians and stuff like that. And the current prime minister calls them evil and like subhuman and like animals.
That's crazy.
And basically they just have continually lost their land over time. When really like. The Israelis, like, they're not really native to that land anymore. I hate to say, like, they came from that land. They've, like, Israel has not been a thing since, before Christ. There's no, like, Palestine has been there for 1,000 years, like 1,000 years.
True.
Like, consistently there. Whereas Israel has not. Like, just because, like, an ancient kingdom was, like, a thing, doesn't mean that, like, that should exist today and deserves to exist today, like, over those things. I am happy, like, I don't know, like, nothing against Jewish people. Like, this is not an excuse for anti-Semitism at all.
Right.
But, like, that's been what's happening with them. And then they're basically, Hamas is, like, a group that kind of, like, they kidnap these Israelis this is what I know. And there's been kind of collective punishment for the citizens of Gaza who have nothing to do with them.
Gaza's in Palestine.
Yeah, the Gaza Strip is a place in Palestine where they've shut off food, they've shut off water, they're committing war crimes, bombing hospitals, saying that things are underneath, like there's tunnels underneath them, and we don't know what to believe because America is actually siding with Israel. America is an ally of Israel.
Oh, so that's who Starbucks and McDonald's are.
So
I heard that like Palestine was bombing, Israel was bombing Palestine to try and like combat Hamas, but then
to try to I don't know, they're saying they're searching for they're saying they're searching for the hostages, but you're bombing hospitals, like they could be in any one of the buildings that you're bombing.
Yeah, and even if they're trying to bomb Hamas and stuff, I saw this video and she was talking about how Hamas is like hiding underground, so they're bombing Palestine and it's killing.
We don't know how true that is.
Right.
That's what
gotcha.
you hear from the American government, and they're like, obviously America or anyone or Israel, they're not going to readily admit what they're doing is like war crimes and wrong. Like what they're not going to readily admit that. And there's a lot of propaganda out there and a lot of misinformation because like they're trying, like nobody wants to be known as the villain, so they're trying to actually not be the villain.
Right.
There's this thing I've seen of these IDF soldiers, the Israel soldiers, like handing each other these cardboard boxes, and they have medical supplies like plastered on all four sides. No information about how to handle them, about how to handle that stuff, about like how to store it, about what's inside it, and why is it in English? People from Israel speak Hebrew, and people in Palestine speak Arabic.
True. Oh my God, that's crazy.
They speak Palestinian Arabic and they speak Hebrew.
So it's just to make us look good.
Like it's just, that was Israel doing that. That's just to make Israel look good. But like we'll like kind of side with that, and maybe the news will kind of skew to covering more of Israel. I don't know.
This is crazy.
What I mean? Like I don't know exactly everything that is a lie, like, and that isn't. But like with the information I do know, I try to like take everything with a grain of salt. Like you don't really know.
True. And I saw this thing, it was like fake news spreads 6 times faster than,
I took a class on misinformation.
Yeah, that's crazy. Honestly, guys, do your research and don't support Starbucks.
No, or any of the places that are, there's a long list that's out there.
Starbucks, McDonald's, and there was another one. That was like the top 3.
I don't know. But I know Starbucks was like one of the top.
But is Starbucks giving money to this war? Like, I'm like, why are we hurting them? Like, what are they doing? Oh, okay, good. Okay, yeah, so don't do that.
Yes.
They're like sending money.
Yeah, they're like profiting from it.
You would think Starbucks is for the girls, so you would think that they would be protecting Palestine.
Yeah. I think like a part of our economy is reliant on it, which is why, like on Israel, which is why this is happening.
Oh, true, because Israel does give us like oil and stuff that we need.
Yeah.
But still. Can we not stay out of it?
I don't know, like war crimes, like we're gonna let people it's like a genocide of people.
Oh my God, that's insane. Like hundreds of thousands of people dying because this world's just like, hearing about things like this, it just makes me like, oh, this world is just
it's just crazy.
It's crazy how people can do this to people, and it's insane. So go support if you can, donate if you can.
Use like the filters on TikTok that like
true. Like
if you don't have any money, like you can do that. You don't have to post it publicly. It just
even if you have a private account, you can post it, and it will still help towards.
All the funds go to Palestine and their relief efforts.
Anyways, on a lighter subject.
Yeah.
I have a really shitty story to tell you.
Okay.
So the other day.
Yeah.
I was on the toilet.
Oh no.
Now, listen, we've been having problems with our sink and our shower because, as you know, I got all this head of hair. And like when I do my hair in the sink, like I'll do it in the morning and I'll like put the stuff in there. Obviously hair goes down the drain and stuff, and so it's been clogging like the bathroom and the sink. And so my roommate, Emily, and best friend, I should say, put in a little fix-it, which as if you don't go to like a college, and maybe your college is like a little different, we put in this little like fix-it thing to our school, and they send like plumbers to like come and fix it. And usually they do it when we're gone. So anyways, the other day, I'm on the toilet.
Okay.
Freshly sat down.
Okay.
Doing my thing, which you can infer.
Yeah.
And I get a knock at the door.
Oh.
And I know this ain't my friends, like nobody's coming to knock at 10.
No.
I hop up from this seat. Not even finished doing what I was doing.
Oh my god.
One wipe, and I walk out of the door. Because you know what my fear was? Is that they like knocked and I was like, yeah, but I didn't want them to not hear me and just walk right in. Cause bye. And so I was like, maybe it's not, like I didn't know it was the plumber because she never told me that she put in the fix it. I walk to the door and I open it and they're like, hi, like.
You meant a shitty story.
Oh, a shitty story.
Like in the literal sense.
Yes, quite literally.
Okay.
And so I open the door and I'm like, oh, hi, and it's like 2 guys, 2 plumbers, and I'm like, why the fuck are these people here right now? Like, please, like, what are you doing? They're like, oh, hi, this is room number, like, we're here to, like, clear out the drains and stuff. And I remember talking to Emily about it and saying that we should put in one, but we never, like, did it, and I didn't know that she did. So I was like, I didn't spray in the bathroom.
Oh my god.
And so I wanted to be like, can you go? Can you please go? Can you please get out of here, please? But I didn't. I was like, yeah, just come right in. And they went in there. And like, I didn't get to spray or anything. It was so embarrassing, so humiliating. I never get embarrassed. I got embarrassed. I like walked in the kitchen, I just kind of hid. I was like hiding from them until they left. And then they like get on, they're like, all right, it's all set. And I'm like, thank you. And I just waited for them to leave. So humbling, so embarrassing, like, oh, I didn't know what to do. I was actually like
crazy.
Skin curling. I was like, there's just no way this is happening
That is like,
now.
That's like a really
I'm reliving it right now and I'm like, this is traumatizing. Like, that is just too funny that would happen to me, of course. Like,
naturally.
Like, oh my god. I know it was like probably smelling in that bathroom.
That was probably a shittier story for them.
True, it definitely was. But everyone was like, they've probably seen worse.
In the literal sense.
No, quite literally. It was bad. But yeah, so everyone's like, they've probably seen worse and stuff, and I'm like, they definitely probably have, but that doesn't make it any less embarrassing for me over here.
Yeah.
God, please. Like, I don't know. That was my shitty little story for you.
So it's all fixed?
Oh yeah, we're fixed and we're good. Okay. Mentally though?
Mentally scarred.
Scarred forever, like
therapy pending.
Pending, yeah, true. I need to start going to therapy, not because yeah, just because I need to like sort through shit. I think therapy is good for everybody. Like, I feel like it's good to talk about our mental health because it's
everyone can benefit.
Yeah, everyone can benefit from therapy, and like, even if you don't think that like, because I always have this thing where I'm like, oh, I've gone through shit, but right now I'm good. Like right now I'm stable. Right now I have a clear head. So I'm always like, oh, like therapy, it would be, I have this like nightmare where I'm gonna sit in front of the therapist and they're gonna be like, what's wrong with you? Or they're gonna be like, so why are you here today?
Yeah.
And it's like nothing happened to me today or even last week, but there's things that I haven't like unpacked yet that I need to unpack.
And you could just tell them that, and that's not really what they ask. Like, it's their job.
I know, they probably would never ask that, but I'm just like, that's what I think. And so it's like a mental block, but I need to get over that and just
it's
start
their job to like start, like ask the
start the conversation.
You just answer things.
True.
Like, it's not really for you to work about, like, the arc of how it happens. It's their job to figure that out. And the path.
But then I also think, like, am I ready to unpack this shit?
Right? It's very scary.
Because it's a lot. It's a lot mentally.
Is a lot.
Yeah, even, like, and I don't want to waste the therapist's time. Yeah. And also the fact that it is a stranger. It's like, I don't want to, like, go in there and not be ready to unpack shit. Because what if they start saying, like, things and I'm like realizing that like this is so much deeper and maybe like things come up and I start to remember things that I've blocked out.
Yeah.
And then I have to now deal with this newfound information.
It's probably gonna be like, I feel like, which I want to start therapy too for my own reasons, but I feel like it's probably going to be a difficult process and you're not going to like it then, but I think to have reopened those things, it's kind of like a wound that didn't heal properly that you must reopen to like
to heal it,
like kind of thing. It's gonna.
I think like future me would definitely benefit from it too. I just feel like you know,
in the end product, you will be like just a more complete, confident person
all around. Just like you're better able to like handle things and deal with things and so I'm definitely looking into it. I definitely want to get into it, but I'm a little scared. I'm not gonna lie. It's very vulnerable because it's like, and this is another thing, even to like express my feelings to like friends and stuff, it takes a lot of me. And like, I could not just like share shit with like, I'm not a trauma dumper. I'm like, I need to like know you and be comfortable with you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I know I might not have a lot to give. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel like it's their job to get it out of you, though.
True.
To be honest, like, and figure out the pathways for success, like, to tell you what you need to do, to tell you, like, what needs to happen.
True.
It's all their job. Like, you just, like, are, like, to go there to answer things.
Right.
Like, so that's enough stress for the person getting therapy, I'd say.
True, yeah, 100%.
Just
even going in there and, like,
it
opening up. That takes a lot to even just do that. So, yeah, I'm definitely looking into that. And
people who get therapy are bad bitches.
You guys are bad fucking bitches. If you have a therapist, damn.
Bad bitches.
Like, damn, I'm a little jealous. Like, I'm gonna get into that for sure. That's my new resolution for next year.
There you go. Already starting the resolutions, it's not even December yet. What kind of New Year's resolutions do you have? Do you, like, are you big on them, or?
Okay, so, for me, New Year's resolutions is to be financially stable.
So you are big on them.
I'm not a big saver.
You are big on them.
Oh, am I big on them is what you were asking? Yes. I was just talking about how bad I am at saving money. Okay. But no, I am really...
He said, I need to save money. He said...
No, I need to save money. Like, you don't understand. It's bad. It's bad. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, I'm a big one on that. That's how I started getting into the... Well, I don't know if that's how I started getting into the gym, but I started going to the gym, and then my New Year's resolution was to, like not this last year that just passed, but the year before. I was like, I really want to, like, get dedicated to it and just make it a thing to go every single day and make it a habit. And I feel like when they come around, it's good to just write out your goals for the year, and then, like, look back and kind of see if you've accomplished them. I think I'm really a big believer.
Okay.
What about you?
I've never really done a New Year's resolution type person, but I think I'm going to be.
This year?
Yeah,
like, you're going to set up the resolutions? Because even if you don't follow them...
That'll be a formal thing that I do, but...
Oh, yeah. No, like, not writing them down or, like, typing them out.
No. Do you?
I always type them out in a notepad, and then I'll kind of go back and, like, see them, but usually I remember them, like, you know, what my New Year's resolution is. Yeah, my New Year's resolution last year was to save money, and it didn't happen, so this year I'm now going to make it a thing. This upcoming year, it's going to be a set in stone for me.
I love New Year's.
My
favorite holidays, actually.
New Year's?
New Year's.
Really? What about it?
Watching,
like, the New Year's Eve.
I love New Year's Rockin' Eve. I always watch that. And just, like, the closing of one chapter and the simultaneous opening of another, I feel, you know?
Right, like, it's...
something happy about it.
Nothing changed. It's a day apart.
Yeah.
But, like, just, like, being like, oh, this is a new year. It's a fresh start. It's like a...
But
you know what I mean?
It's, like, it's crazy how I feel that way, because it's, like, the medium by which, like, time is, like, a... Time, like, in terms, like, 3:30, like, that's man-made.
Right.
The concept of that is all man-made.
Exactly.
And
like, there's nothing different about
the concept of years, it's man-made.
Yeah.
So it's so crazy that we just, like, assign these meanings to these arbitrary things that we've created.
But since we have, it makes sense why we're so, like...
Yeah.
You know, because it's like, oh, this is now a new year. We're starting new. We're starting fresh.
Yeah.
I'm going into New Year's with some fat lips. I didn't even say this. I got lip filler.
Yeah.
Go watch my YouTube video. By the time this is up, it won't be up because I'm so bad with taking forever to edit shit. So, but it's gonna come up eventually, and yeah, I got lip filler, and it was probably the best decision of my life. So my New Year's resolution is to get more lip filler.
My New Year's resolution is to get lip filler. And tattoos.
I need to get more tattoos. This is gonna be my New Year's resolutions. Let's plot them out right now.
Okay.
One is to save money. Two, which kind of contradicts number one, is to get more tattoos, get more lip filler. For my birthday, which is in March, I'm gonna get more. I'm just...
Okay, birthday gift.
Yeah, I also scheduled the trip to Puerto Rico. This is why I need to save money, because, like, I'm so bad with money that I can't do this very often. Mm-hmm. And I'm scrapping together what I do have to pay for this trip. Mm-hmm. So I want to kind of get better with that, because I want to be able to go on more trips. We want to do some more trips this summer. Yeah. Last year we were gonna, and then we didn't because of money.
Yeah.
And so, like, this year we have to make sure it's set in stone, because
we want to go to NYC.
We want to go to New York City. It's really close. It's like 4 hours away. It's not really close, but you get it. And, like, it's just doable, but we just haven't done it. And I want to have the funds for it. So I need to get better at doing that, and I really want to get a tattoo. I think when I'm in Puerto Rico, I'm gonna get a tattoo, which is really exciting. Yeah. I don't know what to get though. So I have a couple months to figure that out. I have a couple. Yeah. You've been waiting forever to get a tattoo.
I've been waiting forever.
What's been holding you back?
Health troubles.
True.
Really, I've had the money.
Yeah.
For a while, but hopefully soon enough. If not right now, I'll be able to.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll get a million of them.
True. You think you're just gonna litter your body?
Yeah.
I love the idea of patchwork, but I want mine to be very dainty, and I kind of want meaningful. Listen, my next one's not gonna be meaningful. It's just not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like, I have nothing that's meaningful, nothing symbolic in my life at this point that I'm like, ooh, this is what I want on me. But I need one soon because I've been dying for one. So
I just
think
want
it would work
multiple.
out.
Like, I can't just have one. I need more than one.
Like, I have one right here, as you guys know, but like I want them here, here, here. Just like kind of scattered, lightly dainty around my body. That's my vibe.
I want them a little bit more dense than that. But
Yeah, a little more dense.
I think I want more tattoos than you in the lettering, which is kind of ironic considering I have one and you have one.
And I have one. Well, it's just timing, but
Yeah.
yeah. I feel like I'm more of a daintier
Yeah.
creature.
I want mine to be very like esoteric. I just used that word earlier. So
Yeah, you love that word.
I love that word. Very like tarot card vibes, like pagan kind of nods and
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that. Historical kind of things.
Mm-hmm. That's very much you, and that fits into your personality.
Yeah.
So I feel like that has to be done. Definitely that. What other goals do you have for this summer?
Go to the gym. Probably not going to happen, but we can always.
We can't put that negative energy though on it. We have to
That's true.
manifest. It's gonna happen at least a few times.
Yeah. I don't know if it's a gym, just
Couple
really
times.
getting healthy.
Healthier, you know,
Yeah.
putting in healthier steps to get, you know.
Mm-hmm. That, traveling, like you said, protecting my peace.
Protecting. That is so me. Like, that's what needs to be happening. It's already happening this year. We're trying to get into that. But especially next year, I think it's just going to be the chapter of me.
Yeah, very that.
Me, myself, and I.
Very that. Because I feel like I know where I'm at, and I'm at a good place, but other people around me are dragging me to a not good place.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand. So
Like-
we need to get that figured out.
Yeah.
For sure. We need to try and work through that. And that's part of getting a therapist, like we said earlier, and just kind of just working through our own things.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should admit this, but either freshman year of high school or end of middle school, one of my New Year's resolutions was to get a boyfriend.
Oh.
It still hasn't happened.
Almost!
This year.
How many years has it been?
It's not a resolution stream. From what?
From when you first made it.
Oh, probably like 4 years.
Okay.
Definitely not a resolution anymore. I actually don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And I just don't see it happening for me. Like, honestly, like, give me a man that I actually respect. And, like,
Mhm.
I haven't seen one yet.
I'm just very like.
I just don't think it's gonna happen for me. Also, I don't want it to happen for me because I think that next year is me year. Like,
Yeah.
when I focus on me, when I put myself first, when I, you know.
I'm in a very much like finding men hot era, but I don't want a relationship at all.
Like, they're pretty to look at.
Yeah.
Don't open that mouth, though.
No.
Close that fucking mouth.
I just don't like want anything serious like that.
Yeah, you know what, honestly, if I found, like, a really good guy, but this isn't gonna happen, but if I found, like, a really good guy, I want a relationship, like, I wanna do all the cute shit, and I wanna, but only, like, 1 day a week.
Right? Like you're gonna be like, all right,
Come
I'll
over.
book you in for
I'm like,
7:30 to 9 on
7:30 to
Tuesday.
9:30 on a Tuesday, but then I don't want you to want to see me for the rest of the week.
Yeah.
That's very much the vibe I'm in, but it's so cute, especially now. I just feel like it's like the time of the year when it's like, ooh, cuddle up with me next to the fireplace, go with me to Snowport, which we're doing, so
Yeah.
who cares, we don't need a man. We're gonna go to Snowport, it's in Boston, it's like this little event, it's like an outside like kind
Little
of
market.
wintery, market, it's really fun, and we can take pictures and everything, I can't wait to do that. But yeah, I just, like, there's no guy that right now in my life that I've met that I'm like, oh, he could really,
Mm-hmm.
he could take that spot. But when that happens, and I'm not waiting for it to happen, when it happens, it'll just happen, like,
Yeah.
intrinsically,
I
but
don't know,
like,
I'm
right now I'm
looking
not.
forward to like alone time. Like I actually have had enough of people.
True. Honestly, same.
Like I'm just me and other complete people. You know?
Yeah, I understand. Just done with them.
Yeah.
Just you, yourself, and
Yeah.
you. That's all you need.
Do you have any like music of the week?
Oh, true. Let's get into music of the week because, no.
Oh.
Okay, well, we have to say that Spotify Wrapped came out this week.
Spotify Wrapped came out this week.
And are you happy with these results?
I guess.
I saw a
Not
couple
really.
people on Instagram like scratching out their thing and writing embarrassing. Like, bitch, if you're listening to them, don't be embarrassed. Like, it's your number 5th artist. Like,
My top
get
tracks
used to it.
not good. not liking my top tracks. Top
Flowers
artists.
being your number one.
I don't
is
know
crazy.
if I didn't even like. I haven't really listened to that.
It's a good song, but it's like
I've listened to others from her album more, and you know I have.
Yeah, but why would that be your number one? You had to have listened to it the most.
I don't know, and I think she was my third most played artist, Miley. I don't know if she really deserved that spot. That's kind of up for debate. But my top 5 were Lana, Ethel Cain, Miley Cyrus, SZA, and number 5.
That's a good lineup.
Number 5, what were that?
But let me pull up mine because I actually really want to like delve into this. So my number one artist was Drake.
Oh.
Not a surprise. I love me some Drake. Honestly, I thought Taylor would be above him, but whatever. We'll take the man, I guess. Number 2 was Taylor Swift. Number 3, Lana Del Rey. Number 4 was Ice Spice. And number 5 was Olivia Rodrigo because of Guts. If Guts was not released, she wouldn't have even made the list. 610 total artists, she would have been like 500, I'm telling you. Guts just did it for me. Okay, my top songs was That Boy's a Liar by Pink Pantheress and Ice Spice.
Okay.
I remember, see, you're not the type of person that like listens to a song back to back to back. I'm the type of person where I get a little song stuck in my head for 2 days straight. I am listening to that song and only that song.
I think I listen to more like different songs than you do.
Yeah.
You listen to
149 plays on that, and then my second one
was my number 5.
Yeah, Lady Gaga being your number 5 is not fitting. It needs to be higher up on the list. That's crazy. Number 2 is Circle Loco by Drake and 21 Savage. Such a good song, especially for the gym. Number 3 on my top songs is Ceilings by Lizzie McAlpine. That's one of the songs where like that shit was released last winter?
I think so.
Yeah, that's crazy. Last winter, like in January, February, March, probably just only listened to that song. Sticky by Drake, that was like in the spring. I remember going to class and like only listening to that song.
Really?
It was crazy, yeah.
Does it tell you how many how much time you have listening to your top artists?
Yeah, and then the last one, number 5.
He's an Apple Music user.
Yeah, so we don't really know. But number 5 was 212 by Azealia Banks.
Okay,
Iconic.
that's a good one.
Iconic. Drake was 2,000. It doesn't tell me the total time I've spent. I think I might be able to figure that out, but Drake was 2,830 minutes.
Okay. Lana, I was the top 1% of her fans, and I spent 2,190 minutes.
See, I wonder where I am for Drake. Like, am I in the top 1%?
I don't know. You know, last year I was in the top 0.1%.
For who?
Or 0.01% for Ethel Cain.
Well, that's because you were the only one listening.
I've never even
You were the only one listening, though.
I've never seen that before. I didn't know they could do decimals, but I guess they can.
Yeah,
and I would have been listening to her unreleased on YouTube, or she would have been number 1 this year.
They really said you're the only one listening to Ethel Cain.
No, me, the army, the Daughters of Cain understand.
There's no one.
The Daughters of Cain.
Like, she's gonna spit on you if she sees you. She actually looks feral. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I can't have the Canians coming after me.
Can't have the Canians.
Taylor Swift, 2,742 minutes.
Okay.
What about you? Number 2?
Number 2 is Ethel Cain.
No, how many minutes?
Oh, it doesn't tell me that.
Oh, okay, cool. It only says you're the first artist.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can see more of that because I'm actually interested in like seeing. I want to know my total amount of hours, but I don't think it'll tell me. What are your top genres? Does it tell you that?
I think it might. It was all pop, basically. And different types of pop. Like, I feel like. Let's see. Does yours tell you your,
It tells me, like, my playlist that I listen to most. My number 1 playlist was titled Frank and SZA, because that's, I mean, obviously. Let's see. SZA's my number 6, by the way, so none of y'all fake fans out there. Doja's my number 9. By the way, I'm going to see Doja this weekend, and I'll talk about that in the next episode, because I know that that's going to be, like, otherworldly.
Oh, that's crazy.
Despas de Playa's on the list. Guitar songs, oh my god, I play that so many times, it's crazy. Okay, right here, top genres. You ready for this?
I'm ready for this.
Pop, hip hop, alternative, R&B and soul.
Okay.
That's strictly SZA. Maybe a little Frank in there. Pop rock.
Oh,
What's pop rock?
rock, that's a little poppy.
It tells me how many minutes, like how many milestones. I reached 25,000 minutes of music May 18th.
That's crazy.
So what is it now? What is it now? I need to know.
I feel like I haven't listened to a lot of music this year. It only was like 36,000 minutes, and I feel like last year was like...
Yeah, the fact that I almost ate your entire minutes in May.
Yeah.
Is crazy. That's crazy. How do I wish I could see.
Because I listened to like so much more last year.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. What's up with you and that.
I don't know.
But literally 25,000 minutes in May. That's crazy. What about your songs of the week this week?
Songs of the week this week. Probably anything by Rachel Ziegler in the Hunger Games movie.
I think it's Zegler.
No. Rachel Zegler.
Yeah.
In the Hunger Games movie. And Can't Catch Me Now by Olivia Rodrigo.
Can't Catch Me Now would definitely be one of mine. Northern Attitude by Noah Kahan. And also Stick Season by Noah Kahan. I know in a previous episode I said that any song sung by a girl is better and Olivia's is better. But I've been listening to the Noah Kahan one and it's really, really good, so.
And Heirloom, Aurora, and Pagan Poetry by Bjork.
Oh, maybe I'll have to get into those. Also, for me, on the complete other side of the spectrum, Rich Baby Daddy. I feel like that was last week's too, but it's also this week's. Yeah, I just get one song and I kind of just keep playing it for a while. And that's really it. Also, Central C's little rap verse in Pink Panthers' song "Nice to Meet You" is intoxicating. It's just so addicting the way he's like a little UK rapper. Like it's like a joke. It's when from like you know when you like say a joke and you say it's a joke because it's like ironic, and then it becomes not a joke. I'm like that's what it was. I was like the UK rapper like how does this song go?
I don't know, but I know what you're talking about.
We've been through thick and thin. She's already fixed, so we're halfway there. Bye! Like, the way I was saying that as a joke, because I'm like, there's no fucking way somebody raps like this.
Yeah.
And then I caught myself, we've been through thick and thin. Like, walking to my classes, like, shut up, bitch. Like, I don't know what it is. That, like, UK sound is really
When he's thick and thin.
I'm thick and thin. We're already fixed, so we're halfway there. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Too good. Those are my songs of the week.
Yeah.
And that's
all we can say.
All we can say. We will see you guys in next week's episode. Leave comments. How was your Thanksgiving? And let us know
what music you've been listening to.
What music you've been good one. And also write what you hate most about Ethel Cain's music.
No, write what you love most about it.
Just kidding. Take that back. Like,
write everything. Like write me a memoir about Ethel Cain and I'll read it.
Anything, honestly. We just want a comment.
Yeah. Preferably about Ethel Cain, but I'll take the other ones as well.
We'll take anything. Just, you know, give us what you want. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. We'll see you guys in next week's episode. Anything else to say?
No, that's all I can say. Is that all you can say?
That's all I can say. I was gonna have a punchline, but that's all I can say. Also, wait, I didn't get to, this is what I need to say. I didn't get to show off my boots. I put them on just for you guys, and I didn't even get to say, okay, that's it. Okay, bye.
Okay.
I'm walking your way. I should walk this way. We're already fixed, so we're halfway there.